Denzel Goff, and welcome to this video on blogging. Now, I'm a pro blogger, which simply means I'm a full-time blogger, and I've been doing that for the past 8 or 9 years when I quit my job back then, and since then I've been blogging professionally. Now, it's a Monday morning here, and I'm in one of my favorite work areas, which is my media room in my house. But I also like to go to different areas. Sometimes I go down the road here, down to the lake, and work there, or sometimes in a coffee shop or a bookshop and have a hot chocolate while I work. I usually take my notebook, not a notebook computer, but an actual notebook where I can take notes and write down ideas for blog posts and also for products. But what I'd like to show you today in this very short video, or talk to you about, is how you can become a pro blogger following a system that I created called the Blogger's Creed, or BC for short. And I'm a little bit different than conventional bloggers, and there's a few things that make me different and make my system different than how normal bloggers work. The first thing that I do differently is that I don't post as much, and which is kind of funny for a blogger who doesn't post. So I do post, but it's not as frequently. A lot of bloggers will post daily or once a week, usually daily, and I don't post that much. I probably should post a little bit more than what I do, but it's not required. And the reason for it is I've developed this system where I don't have to work as much on blog posts. And the second thing that makes me different is that I'm able to generate income and cash flow from my blogs by having a lot less subscribers and a lot less traffic than what a lot of other blogs have. I'm able to do it with a very minimal amount. And in fact, in the next series of videos, when you opt in and enter your information to receive, I have 3 other videos after this, they'll show you how I took, for example, around 660 subscribers and turned that into 6-figure sales from that particular blog that I've set up. One of the things I'd like to do in this video, and something that's very important to me and what I try to do on my blog as well, is to be very transparent. So I want to show you some actual stats and some results and maybe even some failures on the next video to run through how I'm involved in the business of blogging and how you can set up your blog as a business and merely just not a hobby. Ultimately, I've been doing this full time for the past 8 or 9 years, and I've learned how to speed up the process and to do it very quickly. The other thing that I'd like to show you in the very next video after this one is conventional blogging system versus the Blogger's Creed system. And I'll show you a little flow chart and break it down for you and show you exactly the differences between the two. Now, many pro bloggers will tell you that it takes a year or a couple of years to build up enough traffic to your blog to where you can generate income and cash flow from that blog or to become a pro blogger. But it doesn't have to be that way. And the reason for it is I can show you how you can monetize your traffic before it reaches your blog. And this is critical for 2 reasons. One, you want it to generate income as quickly as possible and cash flow as quickly as possible from your blogging business, but you also want to be able to pay to have more traffic come to your site. And by doing that, you can accomplish those 2 things. So in the next video, I'm going to run through and show you some of the strategies that I use to do this, and also you can start generating cash flow with very small amount of traffic and very small number of subscribers. Our whole thing is to take subscribers and traffic and turn them into fans, and then turn those fans into our actual customers, but to do it in a very condensed, short period of time. So look forward to seeing you on the next video when I show you the Blogger's Creed method versus the conventional blogger's method. Hi and welcome, and thanks for signing up. I brought you to one of my favorite offices, which is the local bookstore and coffee shop. Now, I don't drink coffee, so I've got myself a hot chocolate and a muffin. And apart from working in my home, this is one of my favorite places to work. Now, what I want to show you in this video is a completely new approach to building a blogging business and running a blogging business. And what I want to do is draw a quick diagram and just show you how we structure it, because originally when I started, I didn't obviously have much traffic and I didn't have many customers, but what I want to do is be able to generate cash flow from my blog assets while I was building the blog up. And even now I don't have traffic as much as some of the all-star bloggers have. I have good traffic, but it's not a huge amount of traffic, but my income and revenue that I generate is as high or higher than some of the pro bloggers. And I've been a pro blogger now for about 9 years. So what I want to do is show you the structure that I developed. So I'll quickly draw this out for you. Hopefully you can see it all right on camera. And I'll hold it up in a minute and show you. Okay. Hopefully you can see that all right. So what we have here is a platform blog, what I call a platform blog, and this is my main blog. This is where I do my regular posts on this blog. But then I have something different than what other bloggers have. I have what I call harvest blogs. That stands for HB, for harvest blog. And these are what I call my blog assets. And what these are designed to do is to target specific niche markets. And they bring in a customer, a subscriber, and turn that customer into a fan and generate cash flow, and then pass that customer on, or that fan, a true fan, onto my platform blog. And each one is set up to bring in its own source of traffic and its own source of fans to my main platform blog. So this particular method is especially useful to people who are starting a blog, already have a blog, and you don't have a lot of traffic. But even if you're already running a highly successful blog, you can use some of the advanced methods and apply them to your current platform blog. A lot of bloggers just have a platform blog, and that's all they have, and we're going to show you how to have both platform and harvest blog. So what I'll do now is I've got my notebook computer here, and I'm going to run through a brief PowerPoint presentation to show you the difference between conventional blogging business method and the Blogger's Creed business method. But before I get started, I've just got to taste some of this muffin. I've lived in the US and different places around the US, and my wife's lived in Paris, and we agreed that this is probably the best tasting muffin we've ever had. I'll enjoy the muffin, and what I'll do now is I'll walk you through the PowerPoint presentation, and I'll just show you exactly how we structure it and how we set it up. And that muffin's really good. Alright, let's take a look at it. Alright, so I'll jump right into the presentation and show you the difference between the Blogger's Creed method and the conventional method of building up a blog. So the first thing to keep in mind is that the Blogger's Creed method only has three main purposes. And the first one is to build an established list of true fans before you even introduce them to your main blog, or if you don't have a blog yet, before you even launch it. And the reason for this is there's a big difference between having a lead or a subscriber and an actual true fan, and we'll get into that in a minute. Now some people say, well, what if I already have a blog? Well, I'll get into that a bit later on. I'll show you how you can also take fans that you have on your blog and move them over into the Blogger's Creed method as well. The second thing to do is to generate cash flow and become an authority site in as little as 5 days. Not years, like what some of the gurus say. Now when I say 5 days, that means 5 days for cash flow from when someone is first introduced to your site, and also 5 days to establish in their mind that you are an authority site. So this is the only way you can really get true fans. And then the third reason is you can do all of this with very little traffic. Like I said before, I didn't have a lot of traffic compared to some bloggers. I still don't have as much traffic as them, even though I have a decent subscriber base and a decent amount of traffic now. I'm still not up there as some of the all-star bloggers with their traffic, yet my income equals and is even higher than some of the others. Alright, so let's go back to the 1000 true fan principle, and you may have heard this term before. So firstly, you need only 1,000 fans to earn full-time income. And in fact, you don't even need 1,000. In the next video, I'm going to talk about a case study where I did it with only 200 true fans, and I'll get into that in a minute. So this concept was formalized by an author called Kevin Kelly, and he's now famous for his article, which was called 1000 True Fans. And basically what he said is that a creator, such as an artist, a musician, a photographer, a video maker, an author, or like a blogger, in other words, anyone who's producing some kind of content or works of art, and he said they only need to acquire 1,000 true fans to make a living. So this was his concept. So first of all, let's define a true fan. So a true fan is someone who is willing to purchase anything that you produce. They'll drive 200 miles to see you sing, if that's what you do, or they'll buy your super deluxe, reissued, high-res box set of your videos or whatever it is that you've created, even though they already have the low-res version. So they're following you, they want to buy whatever it is that you produce to get close to you and the things that you're creating. and they can't wait until you issue your next work. And in fact, in Michael Gerber's book on the E-Myth Entrepreneur that he talked about, or the E-Myth Enterprise, he talked about how customers who are following you, they want more and more and more, and it never stops, because we're in a changing world, a fast changing world, and people always want more. So you deliver that to your fans. So here's what he said. He said, it's fair to say a true fan spends around $100 per year on one of your products, let's say buying one of your products. And if you have 1,000 fans, that sums up to $100,000 per year. So a fan isn't your entire subscription base. You might have, for example, 5,000, and only out of those 5,000, 1,000 are actual true fans. So minus off some modest expenses equals a living for most folks. And 1,000, it's a feasible number. You can count to 1,000. True fanship is doable. Pleasing a true fan is pleasurable and invigorating. So that was his concept of what a true fan is and why you only need 1,000 true fans. So what we've done is we've mastered the art of what we call true fan acquisition. And it's how to take someone who doesn't know you and in a very short amount of time turn them into a fan. So the path to becoming a pro blogger, and there's basically two paths. There's the conventional method, which most of you have been taught, where you see the all-star bloggers out there with a lot of traffic and continually posting blogs each day or several times a week. And then you have the blogger's creed method, which is the method that I've used for years to build up my blogs and also to generate blogs of each one of them generating six-figure revenues. So first of all, let's cover the conventional method. And just before I jump into this, I want to make it clear that I'm not bashing the conventional method of blogging, because I use that for my main blog as well. But there's a reason why I also use the blogger's creed method. So let's first cover the conventional method. So the conventional method is you set up a WordPress blog and you start adding posts. It's pretty simple, it's pretty easy to do, which is why most people are interested in doing a blog. The next step is, in the beginning, you are the only one reading your blog, but you don't have any traffic. So you're adding posts and you're the only one reading it, or maybe your family, and if you have a dog, reading it. That's it. So you keep adding posts while you wait for your search engine rankings to build up, and also your traffic to build up before you get other readers apart from your family members. You keep posting. You need a lot of content before bloggers will notice you. And when I say bloggers, I'm talking about other bloggers who will then recommend their readers and their fans to you. You can't just have a couple of posts on your normal main blog and expect that they'll send people to you. It doesn't normally happen. You need to have some kind of established blog before they'll do it, and sometimes some traffic to your site to show that you've got good comments on there and those kind of things. So that's what other bloggers look for before they will promote you normally. Okay, so blog gurus have said it can take years to get a good sized following. That's what they say, but it doesn't have to be that way. So they also say it can take years to establish yourself as an authority site, and once again, it doesn't have to be that way. So you need lots of traffic to generate an income, because most of the income is generated from sponsored ads, and you need a lot of traffic to generate the number of clicks where you'd be getting paid enough to actually live off your blog and be considered a pro blogger. So we consider a pro blogger someone who it supports them, it becomes an asset where they're able to live off the blog. So this method does work well, but it's slow. It's the slow way. So let's look at the blogger's creed method. And this is the method that I discovered while I was trying to build different blogs. So first you set up what I call a harvest blog, and then you set up a platform blog. So now you have two WordPress blogs, and this will become clear in a minute why we do this. Now the good thing about it is that traffic is fast and immediate, and the reason for it is that you can use traffic options that are not practical for a standard blog. For example, it's difficult to use Google AdWords on a normal blog because the click-throughs that you get from your ad taking the visitor to a blog, and then some of them clicking on the sponsored ads won't be enough to pay for your advertising. So because you're not getting back money fast, and it takes a while to build up those fans and get clicks, or even if you're recommending affiliate products, it's normally not going to cover your advertising. which means you'll go broke. Now with a harvest blog, you're able to set up what we call preset posts, and these are time released over a very short period of time, usually a few days. And this allows you to partner up with other bloggers using only your very best preset posts. So you put a lot of time into making these preset posts, and you don't need many preset posts. You may have 4, 5, or 6 preset posts, and they're the same posts that you use over and over again. So you're creating a pipeline or a funnel that you can push people through. And this is all set up on your harvest blog, which is a totally separate blog to your main platform blog. So after a visitor has gone through your preset posts, which are your very best posts, you now have cult following status. And I'll get into the reason on the next slide why it becomes cult following status so quickly. So you now have an established audience, you now have an authority site with a few posts, and this is what your harvest blog is. And in the next video I'm going to go into a little bit more detail the difference between a harvest blog and a platform blog. But basically a harvest blog is a separate blog that is set up, and its primary purpose is to generate cash flow for you, generate sales, and to turn leads, to collect leads, and then turn those leads into fans. And then those fans will purchase from you. That's the purpose of a harvest blog. So even with limited traffic, cash flow begins, and now you launch your platform blog. And the reason cash flow begins is you're able to advertise your harvest blog, which has a product for sale at the end of it. So 5 days after you launch a harvest blog, it can be generating sales that is not only self-sufficient, which means it pays for its advertising. So it's paying for its advertising, it's generating new leads each day, it's turning those leads into customers and fans each day, and it's having money left over, putting money into your pocket, which means you now have a cash flow blog asset. And this way it's easy to set up, and it's a lot faster because you're able to push traffic to it. You're able to generate advertising and cash flow and pay for your advertising because of the cash flow. So conventional blogging method is good, but it's slow and requires a lot of traffic to become a real blog business, which means you, as I mentioned, you need a lot of traffic before you can generate income from it. The Blogger's Creed method is fast and requires little traffic to generate cash flow. And once again, it requires little because you're putting people through a set system where they can buy after 5 days. Okay, so I talked about the secret or why this works, and I'll make it clear why it develops why you can develop cult following and build fans quickly and an authority site within days. So a blog's authority status, the status of your blog, and how it's perceived can be pre-sold, just like any other product, giving you instant fans. So although that's a simple concept, if you can think about it and even write it down, your blog's authority status, it can be pre-sold. And the way it's pre-sold is by giving your very best preset posts. And there's a particular way that we design these preset posts. In fact, we have a template that we follow, and I'll make this template available for download in this members area. And you'll be able to download it and see the template that we follow for each one. You have to remember that fans want to buy from you. So we turn them into a fan first. They're just not a stranger and a subscriber to you anymore. They're an actual fan. And as I mentioned, this is simply done using preset posts that are on a harvest blog. And the reason we use a harvest blog and a platform blog is, and a platform blog is your main blog, where you'll eventually send all your fans through to it. The reason we need and require a platform blog, a harvest blog to make this work is that your preset posts need to be separated from your main blog. Because your platform blog, which is your main blog, will have all your normal regular posts that you have on there continually changing. Your harvest blog will have the preset posts which pre-sell your authority status. So this method, I call it selling fanship. You position yourself as an instant authority. And you can't always do that on your main blog, or what I call your platform blog, because you've got different articles, and they may not be interested in that particular article, which means they may just leave your platform blog. But your harvest blog is angled to a specific niche or niche market that is in the same overall area as your platform blog. So you're able to narrow it down and pull in fans from different areas. Okay, there's two main reasons why blogs fail. And the first one is no audience and traffic. And so bloggers stop posting. It's not fun, and you lose a lot of your enthusiasm, even if you're passionate about the topic, when you're the only one who's reading it, or your family are the only ones reading your blog. You want an audience, because the main reason people blog is because they want to be a voice in their market. And it's no use having a voice if you're the only one who's reading it. The second reason is no cash flow. Bloggers stop posting if they see very little monetary return for their efforts, and so they tend to quit. And also, if you need capital to expand it and to put the time into it, if you have no cash flow, you can't do it. So cash flow is key. Okay, so think about this question and answer this for me. If you launched your blog and you already had an established fan base and your blog was generating cash flow, would you quit? And obviously the answer would most likely be no, you wouldn't quit. So the purpose of the harvest blog is to create that established fan base from a few preset posts. It puts them through the pipeline and takes a stranger who is a visitor. They opt in, become a lead, and now they become a fan and see you as an authority, and then they purchase from you, all within a 4 or 5 day period. This all happens within a 4 or 5 day period. So you've now created a pipeline for turning a stranger into a fan into cash flow. And then you introduce that person who's now gone through, let's call it a screening process, who's now generated you income. They are now introduced to your platform blog. Now, if for some reason people have asked, well, what if they come to my platform blog, or which we call our main blog, if they come to that first? Well, our platform blog is also set up to then direct people who have come to it through our harvest blog. So they still go through the process of our harvest blog, regardless of whether they are introduced via the platform blog or they're introduced via the harvest blog itself. Now, because I already have an established fan base, I can at any time launch a new blog, and because I already have fans, that blog would most likely be instantly profitable and have instant traffic because I already have a fan base. So having immediate fans and cash flow makes all the difference. Okay, so what is exactly the Bloggers Creed methodology? So I've put it down in points just to keep it simple and break it down for you. And the first one is you start by setting up a blog asset, which is what we call a harvest blog. As I said, it's a separate blog which has preset posts, your very best posts, which turn visitor into lead and lead into a true fan and a true fan into cash flow. That's its only purpose. It has no other posts, no other distractions on the site. Number 2, all visitors go through the harvest blog over a period of around 5 days. So it's kept very short when they're at the highest level of interest in the topic that you're talking about. You turn them into a true fan and generate cash flow. Number 3, established visitors are then, or I should really say established fans, are now introduced to your main platform blog. So this is the main blog that you keep, the main one that you continue to blog on and update. The harvest blog, it's just done once and it's set up there and it's a machine that just converts visitors into fans. That's its only job, and to generate cash flow. That's the only job of a harvest blog. Even visitors who stumble across your main platform blog, as I said, are also directed through your harvest blog to create a true fan out of them. You generate a profit while you build your 1,000 true fan base. So instead of taking the conventional method, which is to build up fans and then try and generate income, you're generating cash flow before you reach the 1,000. You're building cash flow while you are building up your 1,000 true fan base. So you're able to, and it's fast because you're able to reinvest the profits into more advertising that you can't do when you just start a normal blog and use the slow conventional blogger method to build a business. You can't reinvest it because you've got no cash flow. You have to take it from your savings or from your job. But this way you can actually have cash flow after 5 days from setting it up if done correctly. And I recommend obviously reinvesting as much cash flow as you can to build it more and more, because it's generating true fans for you. Okay, the cool thing is, as I mentioned, you don't even need 1,000 true fans. I had around 200 true fans when I started several years ago, and I made $78,000 in 48 hours from those 200 true fans. And I'll give the case study of this on the next video. So I'll show you exactly the harvest blog that I used to do this, and I'll also show you some of the income payments coming in so that you can verify that and see that. Like I said, I want to be transparent and show you what I've actually done. So the Blogger's Creed method is a completely new approach to launching a blog and running an established blogging business. So even if you already have your main blog and you're already a blogger, you can plug this concept into that. In fact, you'll be in even a better position. But if you don't have a blog or don't even have a website, then you can use this to create it, your main platform blog, and launch your blog, but you launch it using harvest blogs. So what's on the next video? We're going to cover using multiple harvest blogs, each one generating its own cash flow. So what you're looking to do is to build a network of blog assets, and this is where the true power comes in. You will have multiple blog assets or multiple harvest blogs, all with their own preset posts that you don't have to maintain because they're preset posts, all generating leads from different but similar sources. And that's important because you'll be dealing with different niche areas, generating leads where they may not have come across you because they're in a slightly different area but still a similar common ground. We'll get into that in the next video. I'll talk about why harvest blogs won't tie you down. They're virtually maintenance free. You won't have to write more blog posts for all of your harvest blogs. You'll only have to do your initial preset posts. It's important that you only do your initial preset posts. You don't need any more because you'll be moving them over to your platform blog. Also give you the downloadable harvest template that we use for WordPress, and also I'll give you the template of how we create the preset posts. I'll also show you the case study on my 200 true fans and how it generated $78,000 in 48 hours. And I'll talk about death by aged posts and how to stop it. So this is kind of like the lazy blogger's dream. I mentioned in one of my other videos that in my introductory video, that sometimes I was slow at doing blog posts. I didn't post a blog every day or every second day or every week, and in fact there was a time where I only did 5 posts for 1 year, and I don't recommend doing that, but I'm just saying that this can be done even if you're not very good at keeping up with doing a lot of blog posts all the time. I like to do posts, but I had other projects going on, didn't get around to doing a lot of posts. But even though I'd only done 5 for the year, my sites didn't die. And the reason for it is because I had harvest blogs, which kept generating the cash flow and kept bringing me in the true fans. And all of this will lead up to getting your 1,000 true fans. And of course it won't stop at 1,000 true fans, but we know that once we have that, then any site that you launch will be able to generate immediate cash flow and immediate traffic. So look forward to seeing you on the next video. I'd look forward to if you can leave any comments below and ask any questions. I will be on the comment section below, so I will personally see every comment that's put there, and I will try my best to respond to every single comment that is put on there, or someone from my team will respond to it. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed that presentation. Now remember that the key thing to remember is that you have a platform blog, which is for your main posting, and then you have harvest blogs where you only have preset posts on them, and they're responsible for generating your cash flow and generating your fans. So we'll go into this a little more detail in the next video that I'll walk you through, and also show you some of the case studies on how I've been able to do this myself. So I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Hi and welcome to the video. First of all, I want to thank you for watching the other videos that I've created. I'm sitting outside my office, which is a second home that we have, which we use for our business. And I'm just outside here, and I'm drinking my glass of kefir, which is Apparently it's very healthy. It's kind of like a yogurt drink. And I sit out here usually during the day and work on some of the projects. Usually it's to do with coming up with keyword articles that I put on my actual blogs, and ones that I'm going to outsource to our writers. And our writers, normally they're all US based, and they charge $9 for the article, and I'm able to generate a lot more than $9 every time an article goes out, because it generates us sales and it generates us more traffic. There's some loud birds overhead. Anyway, what I want to do in this video is, as you can tell by now, I've discovered a system which is called Blogger's Creed. And this system shows you how you can generate income from blogs in a very short amount of time with very little traffic. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can also set up your own platform blogs and your own harvest blogs and generate income from them. In fact, you'll be able to watch over my shoulder as I create harvest blogs. I think that's one of the best ways to learn. It's always good to be taught a principle, but then to see it in actual practice. So to help us do that, I've created a course which is called the Blogger's Creed Apprentice Program. And in this course, I go through and teach you the principles and then show you how we do it, and you can watch over our shoulders as we put it all together. Unlike other courses that you see, I guide you through the entire process. I become a part of your team. So even if you're not that sure or not that confident or even not that great of a marketer, you'll be able to use myself and my team to help you build a successful site. So what I'm going to do now is walk you through this revolutionary new process, which is Blogger's Creed. And I prepared a little PowerPoint presentation that will explain to you how you can go about creating your own platform blog and your harvest blog, and how with very little traffic you can generate income from it. So we'll go in and we'll take a look at that now, and I'll walk you through it. Alright, so what I want to do now is just run through with you what's in the actual Blogger's Creed Apprentice course. But before I do that, let's take a look at the bonuses. Alright, so the first bonus is we broadcast your harvest blog, once you've built it, to our list of thousands of subscribers. And this is worth about $900 if you want us to do a mail out to our list. But we include this with the actual course at no charge. Of course, if it's a site that's going to be offensive to our customers, we'll ask you to do another one or refuse that one. But if it's a normal site, then we're happy to send it out as a case study and showcase it to all of our customers and get you instant traffic and most likely sales. Bonus number 2 is what I call the roundtable session, and this is where you have us on your team, including me and my team of professionals, where we take a look at your site before you go live or even after you go live, whichever you prefer, and we help you tweak it and check it and make sure you're on the right path, and we provide you with a critique of your site. And this pretty much, well, very closely gets to guaranteeing your success, because we've done it so many times that we know what we're looking for and we can help you make any kind of adjustments. This kind of critique, we normally charge $1,400 for it, but we'll be including it with the course. And then finally, bonus number 3 is the software plus the WordPress themes. For example, all the WordPress Woo themes libraries. They make the best themes, they're coded the best. We're not ripping them off, we have permission to do this. And also any of the landing page themes that you need. This is a real value of $900. Woo themes on their own is about $130. So we include that with you so that you have everything that you need to get started. Okay, so going into the actual course curriculum. So in week 1, which is called the Creed, we cover your lifestyle design, how you want to get set up, the things that you're looking to do, the things that you're looking for. Basically the blogger's lifestyle. You'll look at what you need to earn to go pro, replacing your income. Of course, that's private information for you to work out, but we give you the exercises and the information we go through. It's the same thing I used when I left my job 10 years ago to do my online business, to do blogging. I went through and looked at what I needed to do to become self-sufficient and to generate and replace my own income. We'll look at establishing your office and your workplace. There's something that we call, which is prime time, and this is your best environment to write in, to create your harvest blogs, your preset posts, and your normal blogging in general. And we'll also share how to go mobile. I was able to travel for 3 months overseas with my family, and I'll go through some of the things that we use, apps, different things that we do to make it so that we're portable and mobile so we can travel. Then we'll look at studying your hobbies and your buying patterns. Naturally, this is going back to the topic that you want to do. You may already have a great idea on what you want to do, and that's good, but we'll help you define this if you need help with it, and also verify that it's a legitimate market that you can enter, or sorry, a viable market that you can go into. Then we'll actually decide on your platform blog topic, because you'll need this first. You'll need to know what the broad market is that you're going to enter. And then we'll set up your actual platform blog, or we'll help you set up your platform blog and get you ready to go. Week 2 is called the harvest. Now in the harvest, this is where you'll decide on the product that will generate your cash flow. Now I want you to keep in mind that nothing happens until something is sold. That's the only way you can generate income. Even if you were an organization that was taking donations, you're selling donations. So something always has to be sold so that there's an exchange. So we'll help you decide what product you're going to do for your harvest blog, which will be the end sale to start generating your cash flow. We'll talk about product acquisition, and we'll train you in the 3 choices that you have, which is you can create the product yourself, you can resell an existing one, or you can get the licensing to an existing one. And we'll explain the benefits of all 3. We've done all 3 and used all 3 a lot over the years, and there are advantages and disadvantages to each one, and you can, once you're educated in that area, you can know which one to do. We'll help you with wording and swipe files for emails on how you can get licensing and resell rights as well, and also teach you about creation. The next one is my MPI formula, which stands for Marketplace Innovator Formula, and this allows you to enter any market, even very competitive markets. I'll show you the actual formula that we use in steps, and you'll receive action steps. In fact, on the entire course you'll receive action steps and assignments to help you complete each module as you go through it. So at the time you're finished, you'll have your platform blog and your harvest blog and be generating cash flow. Then we'll go through and create your preset posts. These are your very best posts that we're going to set up on your harvest blog that will sell the product that you selected originally. And then of course we'll actually set up your harvest blog, or help you set up your harvest blog. And then we'll also show you how to prepare to take orders and get ready to launch that particular harvest blog. You'll complete the action steps and the assignments at the end of week 2, just like you do in week 1. Week 3 is called the following, and in this module, this is all about where you get traffic, you get fans, and you get cash flow. So it's all about getting traffic to your harvest blog, and we use something, and you may have heard me talk about it in my other videos, called the traffic flow. And this is a system that we developed where your traffic is broken up into 3 main sections. The first one is paid traffic, the next one is content traffic, and then network traffic. Ideally you should apply all 3, but even ones on their own will generate sufficient traffic. We'll cover things like first setting up your pay-per-click like Facebook and AdWords. Then we have content traffic, which is guest posting on other blogs. We'll show you the formula to go through and do that. And then we have things like network traffic, and we have a technique called reverse guest posting, which no one else is doing. And we're going to teach you this special way. You can even use it with higher tier bloggers who have a lot of traffic and they won't let you do a guest post on there. We'll show you how to use reverse guest posting to get a lot of traffic brought back to your harvest blog or even to your main platform blog. We'll also show you some other things like licensing in the network traffic area. We've had customers where they've been able to set up a site right away, do the licensing and generate sales immediately from it. So we'll walk you through the full traffic flow system and get you set up ready to receive traffic to your site. You'll then go through our roundtable session, and this is where, as I mentioned in the beginning, my team and I will go through and critique your platform blog, we'll critique your harvest blog, your preset posts, make sure that you're all set up ready to go, make sure you're not missing anything, make sure that everything's going to have good conversions and that you'll generate sales. You'll then have traffic, you'll then have fans, and you'll have income or cash flow coming in from your harvest blog once you flick the switch and the traffic flow kicks in. Okay, week 4 is called the blog effect. So now keep in mind you've already now set up your harvest blog and your platform blog, and you should now be getting ready to or already receiving sales as a result of your harvest blog. So now it's time to go big time. Now we're going to learn how to escalate your current operation. And this includes things like adding more harvest blogs if you desire, or increasing the traffic to your current harvest blog and starting to actually work your platform blog. One of the main things that we do when we want to immediately increase the sales, traffic and cash flow from a harvest blog is we use something called derivatives. Derivatives are like a branch off from the original product. So let's say you have a product on weight loss, you could then do additional articles based on that. Now the way we do it is we use a resource that for $9 we're able to get SEO optimized. These are full keyword optimized. You just pick your keyword. The writers are all US based writers. Most of them have English degrees, so the articles are very well written. That $9 immediately returns income in two ways, both from things like AdSense, but also we show you how you lead it back to the main product on your harvest blog so that you generate even more sales. Every time I send out one of these $9 articles, the cash flow that I generate, it can be 10, 20, 30, 40 times higher than that $9 every time one goes out. The AdSense revenue alone pays for it, not to mention all the sales that are generated. So as I just mentioned already, there's two main reasons. You get repeat traffic, you get new traffic because it's SEO optimized for you, and you get more orders from the original product on the harvest blog. And this can be done with all of your harvest blogs. It's an optional thing, but it's a way that you can escalate it and take it even bigger. So more harvest blogs generate more leads, generate more cash flow, and generate more traffic. That's what we're looking for in the blog effect, where we turn it into a full-on business. Okay, so this course comes with a complete 100% guarantee, naturally. If you haven't generated cash flow from your very first harvest blog, this is your first one, within 30 days we'll refund you in full, plus you can keep the entire course and all the little bonuses that we give you as well. We can promise this because my team personally checks your sites before they go live, including me. And we critique it and get you to fix up if we think that something's not going to work. So how much is it worth for you, if you think about it, to have a reliable cash flow producing blog? Probably worth a lot, depending on how much it generates per month. And that's just the start. So if you were to pay cash for a cash flow positive website on Flipper, for example, which sells websites, how much would you pay? I've seen some even on the lower end sell for $8,000 to $20,000. In fact, I saw one just last week that sold for $50,000, and it was only turning over a few $1,000s a month. So if during this 4-week course, Bloggers Creed, if you're able to generate that, even if you were to go and sell it on Flipper, you would more than cover the cost of the course, not to mention the cash flow. Now, if you were to pay me to come in and build it, and I've charged clients this, I've charged them over $7,000 to come in, and they do most of the work, and I guide them, and that's just for my guidance. So that's how much I normally charge, is $7,000. But you're not going to have to pay anywhere near that, but you'll still get my complete guidance. And the reason for it is I've done this in the form of a home study course, but I include the bonus critique, our roundtable session, so that you still get my guidance. We just, unlike other courses, we just don't give you the course and send you away, but we make sure that you're doing it right. There's one thing watching a course, but doing it right is the key thing to being successful. So we've built a video home study course and the roundtable program to give you the same results at the fraction of a price, and also include all the bonuses that I mentioned for free, which are worth a real, not a made up. I know we hear these made up totals that people make, but it's worth a real $3,200. That's what we really charge for the bonuses that I'm including. So you will get, just to sum it all up, the Bloggers Creed Apprentice course, which runs over the 4 weeks, including the assignments and the action sheets that come with it, the full online training, the full videos. You receive the bonus number 1, which is where we broadcast out your harvest blog to our thousands of customers. You receive the second bonus, which is the roundtable session, where you have us on your team, which is worth $1,400, and then the bonus number 3, which is the software, our own proprietary software and WordPress themes to help you run both your platform blog and your harvest blog. So if you click the button below, you'll be able to join the Bloggers Creed Apprentice program, and you can graduate with a cash flow producing blog. So it's time for you now to go pro. Click the button now, you can enroll and receive all the bonuses. Well, thanks for watching the video. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to email me. Either myself or my team will respond to you. Looking forward to seeing you on the inside.